would not wish this relationship on anybody. I definitely wouldn't wish this one either. In fact, I think I would hate this one somehow more, because I swear to God, this man is a princess. I mean, even though this guy has a lot of problems, seems to not really like his wife very much, blah, blah, blah. At least he came with his own money. At least, like, I get why she's with him. And just to be clear, I'm Gen X, okay? I am too old for these celebrities. I did not grow up with them. I don't really care about them. I don't know as much as you watching this probably do. But what I do know is that men who have addictions, men who are obsessed with an ex, and I don't even think this man is obsessed with his ex. I think if he had her, he would hate her. Like, this guy has so many problems. I think he'd be miserable with any woman. But at least Hailey, the Nepo baby, gets something. I mean, you know, this guy's worth a fortune. Selena, on the other hand, girl, what are you doing? This guy is so gross. I didn't even realize how gross he was until today. The only reason why I even started looking into him at all is because I was looking into Justin, because everyone's talking about this birthday thing or whatever. More on that in a second. And I just don't have it in me to look in. I just don't care. I am fascinated by this couple and how much she has sold this marriage to us. And if you take nothing else from this, do not make a man a part of your brand. I don't care how much you love him. This guy is going to humiliate her. He already has. So for starters, the most recent issue, and again, you please add to this. I have so much I don't know. The most recent issue I have with him is she posted this whole thing about a girls' trip. She's eating food, she's playing games, twisting the twister, going on lovely, beautiful walk, being silly and goofy with her girlfriends, which I think every woman should be doing, regardless of your relationship status. Your girls' trips, girls' nights out, girls like time alone with friends. Doesn't have to be girls, but just not with your partner is healthy. And what does this dude post under the comments? Come home. Come home. Not come home because I miss you. Come home, you know, whatever. First of all, no. Like, and this is what's annoying. This reply. She will soon link to adorable. Oh, he misses her. He can't live without her. Oh, that's not good. Also, bro, you know how many people are watching. This is like my mutual, Miss Aisha. I'm going to tag her. She's the one who helped me realize when we did the Risks podcast together and a live on my Patreon, how much men use social media to control you, through shaming you, through your image. This, she has like the highest following count of all time, I think. I'm pretty sure she's number 1 or like 2 or 3. And instead of saying, I don't know, nothing at all, or, oh, good to see you're having fun, babe. Or, wow, like, I miss you, but I'm glad you're having come home. Come home. Now, it might be a joke, but like I say all the time, men's jokes are never jokes. Never. I don't know if y'all remember. I'm going to make you look at this photo. I'm sorry. It's too funny. I don't know if y'all remember. I've talked about this before. A lot of men and a lot of people have talked about this. I have examples from my own history. And history of my friends. If a man is your biggest hater or is just like a dependent king baby, whatever, he will ruin your vacation. He will punish you. And this is before you even have kids. If you have kids, good luck. You're going to come home to a mess if you ever get to go at all. But when I was on vacation for the first time with my family away from my abusive ex, what happened? He threw his back out. All I heard about the entire time on vacation was how his back, he's in a crisis, his back. This man ruined my trip because I couldn't help but worry about him and his back. And with some time, I realized the whole back thing was all a fabrication. This man never had back problems. I took him to the ER at one point. I kept trying to find solution. He never had a back problem. Nobody ever could figure out what his back. He lied. One of my friends, she was engaged. This man, while she was on family vacation, without him, he got a DUI. Well, that'll learn her. She realized that she can never leave him alone again without worrying. And she came back to a man who couldn't drive anywhere, so she had to drive him everywhere. Men who hate you, or even if they don't hate you, they resent you because you're probably doing too much. But men who refuse who can but will not take care of themselves and are too dependent on your attention, your care, your whatever, and will sabotage anytime you have away from them, especially a really important event, a fun vacation, anything where they're not at. They may not say, I'm going to do this on purpose so she never leaves me again. This is a knowing. This is like, it is in their bones. They know how, just like white people, right? We may not be like, I'm doing this because I'm going to weaponize my this and that. We may not have that conscious thought, but that doesn't mean that subconscious isn't operating on based on a hierarchy and a power structure, and just knowing how the world works. And I promise you, so many men are doing this on purpose. They may not ever admit it to themselves. They may not even consciously know it, but they are doing it. They are purposely undermining you, sabotaging your joy, sabotaging your career, having you worry about them so that everything is always on them, because they cannot decenter themselves. They cannot, they will not. Even if you are the most famous pop star, one of the most, guess what? Come home. Why aren't you home? Why aren't you thinking about me? He may not even be thinking about her, but he wants her to think about him. Now, maybe it's not that deep. It's not that deep. But to make a comment like that on a post with millions of likes on a platform with hundreds of millions of followers, everyone is watching this man all the time, because everyone who loves her is going to, by extension, watch him, which is how he gained his platform. This man has so many. He had I don't know how many millions he had before her, but he's got all these now. Because all the videos that he does on TikTok or anything with her in it, they have 3 or 4 times as many views as the one of him alone. Why? Because just like Travis Kelce and all these other hobos, even if they had their own career, even if they're successful in their own career, they will level up when they date and marry a billionaire. And just like that guy, any wife guy or what, remember that guy who's from the Five Guys or Fry Guys? What the hell is it called? No, Five Guys is a burger thing. Whatever. That dude who got out, who's, what is his name? God, I don't know, because I don't care. But I ended up watching that interview with him because he cheated on his wife, and he's like, I love my wife, I love it. I don't trust men who their whole platform is about being a wife guy and loving their wife. Doesn't mean they don't love their wife. But if that is what their entire platform is based on, watch out. So, he took her to prom, she'd never been to a prom, so he took her to prom. He filmed it all, though. Who paid for this? Anything that this man is spending money on, now that they're married especially, is her money. You know what I mean? My fiance has never been to prom before. I want you to understand how intentional all this. He has someone film him walking around barefoot in his backyard, thinking and planning this amazing night for his girlfriend or fiance or whatever at the time. Why? Why is he doing this? Why? Dude, build, I'm telling you, I swear to God, please do not ruin your brand, your image, your whatever by making everything about him. Please don't do that. Which is one reason why when people they don't do it as much anymore, because they know not to ask. But it's not that I don't want to ever talk about Anthony, but I don't for 1 second ever want anyone who follows me and likes my work to like it and follow me because of my relationship status. Ever. I have worked for 20 years on this career, and no way a man is going to take credit for my work. And let me tell you one little side thing really quick. Breadcrumb guy who I've talked a lot about. When I had my first super viral article for Harper's Bazaar. Men have no friends and women bear the burden. This man did nothing but waste my time. Okay? If anything, he distracted me. If anything, I would have gotten this article out sooner if he hadn't wasted so much of my time. And I let him, mind you. And he had the audacity when that thing came out and went viral. And I was kind of freaking out because I was having like literary agents contact me and all this stuff. And he looked at me and he goes, well, all this, like, you had this big viral article come out. Is it because of me? What? I have never been so surprised by a ridiculous question in my life. No! My point is, I'm going to let you look at my dog while I go through this. My point is that even a man who is, I literally called him breadcrumb guy. I saw him once a week. We almost never texted between those times. He knew like nothing about me, more or less. Wanted to take credit somehow for my, and it wasn't overnight fame. I literally worked up to that level of finally having an article just blow up. But he was like, is that about me? Is that because of me? No! God, I was so insulted. I could not believe that level of, and this guy wasn't even like a terrible dude. He's like one of the least sucky dudes, you know? But this man, I swear to God, I mean, even this was gross. One of the, like, okay, I'm just going to show you all the reasons why I don't like this relationship. Don't know her, don't know him, don't care. The reason why I talk about relationships and celebrities is because it's relatable. And also, they're, like, she's a billionaire, okay? And I think they're Zionists for all what I've heard. But definitely silent. Either way, she is so untouchable. Like, my little critique of this, it will make no impact on her whatsoever. But what it might do is for people who are big fans of her, who really like this kind of love, I want you to maybe question that. Okay? Because this guy, first of all, he has said in multiple interviews that she said, I love you first. Now, we don't know everyone's story. There could have been a reason for that, but the way he talks about it is so gross. So in this interview, I don't know where it's from, that he was talking about how she said, I love you first. And he was like, what'd you just say? And then he was basically, and the way he tells the stories, and then he was like, go back to bed. And then she says that she doesn't remember saying it. I don't know. All I know is that he wanted everyone to know that she said, I love you first. And I said, go back to bed. Cool. Not only did you not say it first, you didn't say it back. Okay. When asked about their proposal. Yeah, no, she seemed like she was about to play it off, and he goes, yeah, no, she proposed. He wanted everyone to know she proposed. And then as one of my mutuals, I'm gonna tag her too. She pointed out how this man went out of his way to talk about how Selena would, on their first date, when their first date, that she would arrive, so she came to pick him up. Okay, like that's fine. There may be a reason for that. I mean, whatever. Maybe. Look, I try not to impose like all of like normal dating stuff onto people like this, because knowing how famous this woman is, she may have been the one to pick him up because she is so famous and wanted to bring a team of bodyguards. Who knows? But he made sure that we all know that she not only came to him to pick him up. Remember also, remember Simone Biles? All right. Remember when her husband, her now husband, made sure that when he was really talking bad about her on that podcast, I found it very troubling the way he was like made himself seem like the prize, and he wanted everyone to know. And also, my mutual talks about this, made this comparison as well. But he wanted everyone to know that she drove 2 hours to come and meet him, right? And I've told y'all, I'm not saying have them come to your place. I think that's kind of dangerous, but do not go to them. Why are you wasting gas money and wear and tear on them? Like, why are you doing so much? I'm telling you, we do so much. Sometimes, like, this is a way of doing too much. But not only did she come to meet him at his place, she waited out. She came early and waited outside for like 20 to 30 minutes. So eager. Okay, 30 minutes. Now, he didn't, I don't think he said the word desperate, but She's like, that's what desperate women do. She used to wait outside his house for 30 minutes. Selena's so insane. When we first started going out on dates, she used to pull up to my house minimum 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes early, and she would wait outside. Then he went on to go say that she didn't know that he knew she was early, but his cameras. He had cameras. He saw her there. And look at her when he's telling this story. She does this a lot when she's talking with him. This man regularly says stuff that she's like, oh my God, right? You don't think that's on purpose? And this is before they get married. Man, she is locked in now. Now, by locked in, I don't mean that he'll never leave and that they're in for good. What I mean is her reputation is now locked in with this man. Her money probably, I don't know, maybe she signed a prenup, but her reputation especially, okay? Like, she'll probably always be fine. She's a huge star. But when you bring a man onto your platform that is that big, which is exactly what Taylor Swift did, she lended her brand, her star power. Now, I've already talked about Taylor, okay, and how problematic she is and has been. But that doesn't. But because she's so famous, because she is so rich and billionaire. And her little jets. Now, Travis Kelce, who no one really gave a crap about, even knew his name outside of people who watch American football, which is not that many, relatively speaking. Now, everybody knows this man. He's got Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. I believe he has like every big star. Brad Pitt's a choice, by the way, on his podcast. He is like one of the most famous people in the world now because of her. Please stop lending your star power to these men, especially a man like this, who he calls himself ugly. People talk about it all the time, and I know, I get it, but like, this is why women don't want to date short men and why women learn a hard lesson when they date ugly men. And when I say ugly, it's all relative, and I'm also aware there is a European beauty standard and all of that stuff. But these two are not matched. Everyone knows it, he knows it. And one of the reasons why it's not that women insist on dating tall men, it is that usually, and there's probably some truth to it for some women or a lot of women, but it's really because of that little like short man syndrome. Or in this case, ugly man syndrome. And I'm saying these are his words. Like he's actually gone on a whole podcast. I'm actually so ugly. My features are so grotesque, which again, I think is some sort of internalized, I don't know enough about this man, but his features are so grotesque. I mean, I feel like that's a very like white beauty standard kind of thing to say. So that's probably some internalized stuff. But he's openly talks about how ugly he is. And he even talks about how he doesn't deserve, like how he worships her and all this. And in the next breath will then humble her. And I'm pretty sure he was on like Sexiest Men Alive shortlist at some point, which a lot of women are like, that man would never have arrived on that list if it wasn't for her. Travis Kelce would not have $100 million podcast deal or whatever it is if it wasn't for Taylor. These men would have not half or a third of the money and the power that they have in terms of brand deals and fame if it wasn't for these women. At least Travis doesn't talk down. At least Travis doesn't talk about Taylor the way this guy talks. Although his daddy made sure, let loose in that interview about their engagement that to get it done. Like whatever. I've already talked about that. And yet, one thing that I feel like this is a Kristen and Dak situation, right? This guy would not have this platform or this power or whatever if it wasn't for this huge star he's with. And if he didn't make these little digs, and if Dax didn't talk endless crap about Kristen, I would not care about this couple. But when this was a choice for them to sell their love to us, okay? I get why he sells it because he makes a ton of money and followers from it. But she, and I also get it must be so hard to be this famous and want marriage and kids or whatever and want love. I'm sure it's impossible to date when you're this famous. And then when you finally get this thing, you want to share it with everybody, especially when you have an ex that has a whole thing going on and you're in this weird thing. But I am telling you, please, doesn't mean you can't post your partner. It doesn't mean you can't include them in anything, but please know the more you include them in your brand, the more power you are giving that, the more you are giving that man almost trad wife, stay-at-home mom power. I know that sounds weird, but if this man did not work for his own money and you keep lending him your platform, like so many men build their platforms off of their more famous girlfriends or wives or whatever. And that in and of itself is risky. But if you make your relationship with this man part of your platform, one false move, and now people are going to be like, well, they're going to judge you hard. You will always, women and children, but especially the women who are married to or related to, if they're your son, if they're your husband, if they're your boyfriend, if they're your business partner, whatever, when a man messes up big time, whether it's a legal problem or just something, or if he has an affair, the woman, because of systemic power and because everyone's going to blame her, right? She will suffer more consequences than that man, always. And then by extension, the children will too. Also, it's not that I do believe that it's really important for a man to hold you in such high regard when you're dating, but you also have to be really impressed by this person. He has to have some qualities that you are so impressed by, because why the hell else are you dating? He's the one who's going to benefit, right? Like if you're not going to learn something from him, get something from him, and it's just him admiring you and putting you on this pedestal, guess what? You are going to be knocked off that pedestal. I do not want anybody worshiping the ground I walk on. Do I want to be loved, cherished, appreciated, doted over, treated really well? Absolutely. But I do not want anybody, not a man, not any people who follow me. No, I don't want anybody putting me on a pedestal, worshiping me, because the more I'm put on a pedestal, the farther I'm going to fall when I finally get off that pedestal for either making a mistake or with men, them getting bored or them getting a little too cocky because now they have a big platform and all these women love them now because, that woman validated him. Like this guy could probably date anyone now because of her. Whereas before, It is really hard to have a healthy relationship with someone who worships you and you're also a pick-me too. This is a double whammy. Another example of this. When I said he was gross in the beginning, what I mean is this man talks about shitting and pissing and farting so much, like more than the most gross teenage boy talks about it. I used to work with teenage boys. I could not believe how much they talk about their balls and all all this stuff. But I'm like, how old are you, dude? Okay. So I saw this video. Okay. I will try to tag it in the description, where he talks about how he doesn't really shower every day. And one of the reasons for that is because he feels like he says when he does shower, because he feels like he deserves it. What? I might not get to shower every day, but when I do, I feel like I deserve it. I'm in there for a long time contemplating. So I'm just going to summarize this. He was talking about how he doesn't shower every day. And then, and he's the one who takes the longest showers, because when he finally does showers, I don't know how much this man bathes. But he's in there a long time and he's thinking about death and all kinds of stuff. And there's something about the idea of like deserving it. And if he didn't, I saw so many, I saw a roundup of clips of all the times he's talking about crapping in his pants. Like in interviews. There's an interview where he's like, I think I just crap my pants. He's talking about taking a dump. He talked about how he shits his pants and he's surprised other people don't shit the pants. I know these are a long time ago and I know we all grow and change and evolve. Or hopefully. But I don't know. This guy's sense of humor really annoys me. But it also, even not that long ago, he was making these jokes about shitting his pants. Even this one, I want to touch you where you pee. This is weird. And this guy's like, I have to pee. Pee on my overalls? What? I know, men are just, not funny to me in general. Mostly, not all, but most of them I don't find funny. Because they just don't have enough emotional intelligence. Unless they are, whatever. I've talked about this enough. This seemed to be his shtick for a while. I also want to talk about something that my mutual brought up. I think this was like a year ago or so. And the reasons why she does not like this couple, but especially him, is they're apparently, I cannot figure out whose child this is. Because according to the internet, he does not have a son. And some people are like, well, this was his nephew. But I'm not sure if that actually adds up in terms of age. But there was this like blonde kid he was posting for a while. And her video is about how absolutely disgusting and inappropriate it was to post. There was a whole video this one at the top that he didn't take down. People asked him to take it down. And according to her video, and I really love her work. So I trust what she's saying. It was taken down because it probably got so many complaints, or people reported it for violation, because this is like the whole backside of a child. And then there's another video, and I've actually seen this one, and he made this, I don't want to crush his dreams, but his dad has a small one. I don't know who he's talking about. Is he talking about himself? Who is he talking about? If you know, please tell me. I don't understand, and I honestly don't have the time to look into this, but he may have a secret child, or I don't know whose kid this is, but he was exploiting this child. He posted several videos of this child, and I am cropping out his face because I don't want to further exploit this child. But this is the kid he kept showing. And this video is still up. And there's been debate over, maybe it's been resolved by now, but he put this all over Instagram too. He referred to himself as dad, but maybe that's a joke. Who knows? I think the thing Selena seems to talk about how he's like a truth teller and he's so honest. And in this interview in a Drew Barrymore show, I think the dog had really bad breath. And then he's like, your breath smells. This dog smells like la la la. And Drew's like, oh my God, thank you for finally saying it. Yeah, you're a truth teller. And what is it like being with such an honest man? She's like, it's good. Yeah, he tells me the truth, but he's doing it really gently. And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of feel like he probably tells her, I love you, and all this stuff. And the thing is that a partner is supposed to help you grow and learn, right? Like, we are mirrors for each other. But an insecure man who talks about how ugly he is, and then the whole internet talks about how ugly he is, because they can't figure out why she's dating him when he talks about poop and piss and all this stuff, has done inappropriate stuff. I don't know. He's just kind of I find pretty annoying. I don't know. Maybe he's super talented. I know he has his own career. I know he's like, I don't know, whatever. Again, I don't know a whole lot about them. But I just don't like it when men make these little comments that remind you that even though their partner, this Dax does it, that like this is what he's doing, is they remind you that no matter how famous, how rich, how successful, and how beautiful their wife is, this bitch is lucky to be with him. Lucky. And reminds all of us, in case we are not clear, that she was desperate for him. Just like Dax. Dax, Kirsten proposed to him on Twitter as soon as the moment marriage equality passed. Because that was the condition. They weren't getting married because of that. And as soon as it passed, you know me, right? They had a courthouse wedding where she looks ridiculous. He's making fun of her there. He makes fun of her all the time. I don't like, Dax is way worse about this. But Benny seems to do this too. And at least with heels on, she's taller than him. Now, Nicole Kidman could tell you a little something about that. How dangerous that is. So it's not just me. This was mentioned in news outlets too. He's slammed for posting a video of a Yankee King on TikTok. Now, it's not just that. For any of you who are unaware of what it's like to be online and have a platform, one of the things you realize is that people save things. And so I save videos all the time because I'm like, oh, I'll go back and watch that. And I have ADHD, so I literally never go back and watch it. Like almost never. So I have about, 4,000 videos and saved. Sometimes I do it to actually help boost. But what I realized when I posted the video about that man running off at the river here in France a year ago, and I told that story, and I was really upset when I told it, and whatever that, and I had to take that video down. I think it is the most viral video I've ever done. Unfortunately, it was super traumatizing for me because of the comment section, but more importantly, the people saving it. I looked to see who was saving it because I can see that. And there were thousands of saves, and most of them were men. And that is why everything I've been told about posting children online and how the saves when there's a kid, especially these kids, you know, especially if they're like eating a hot dog or doing something like the saves is what you should be concerned about. Since this was my account, I could see who was saving. And it was mostly men. Why? Because they get off on watching me being scared, and they were getting off on my abuse by this man. That video, one of the many reasons why it was criticized is because there were so many saves by comparison to how many views it had. There's no reason for that to be saves other than pedophiles. Also, this guy, I mean, like, he reminds me of Dax. He's just selling stuff. His latest thing is there's a whole video. Guys, did you know? Like, okay, I get it. Everyone's making their money, all right? And I know, like, the celebrities are doing this more right now, which, you know, is a little concerned because it's like, are y'all not getting work? This whole, like, he's a whole video. He's like, guys, I can't believe it. Did you not know that you can get anything from Sonic? And he goes in this whole thing and pretends like he didn't know. And it's like, ew, your wife is a billionaire. Why are you doing this? Like, do you need any more money? Because if I had any respect for you, I'd be like, I would lose it because of this. Like, I don't know, whatever. I just want to point out, okay, look. Some of his videos of just him do well, but mostly they get in the 2.2 million, maybe 3 million range every once in a while. But every video with her blows up, especially videos like this, where she's just sitting there and then it has this person singing like something like, you know, I think about you all the time, or I love you. I forget what it is. But anything doting on her, or any behind the scenes of her getting dressed, or like her getting photographed for some big, those videos get like 15, 20, 25 million views. Who do you think that is? Do you think that's men? Or do you think it's all the women who follow him because she's with her? Because he's with her. And you know, like, I get it. We've all been conditioned to think about this day as the arrival moment. You have finally arrived when you get to post this photo, or the one where you're like, the ring, look at my ring. I said yes. That and the first photo with the baby have so much power. I will never get that many likes for anything I post. Like, I realized a long time ago that I'm never going to have a child. So I'm never going to have one of those photos of me doing this. But even if the thing that I have been working for 20 years now, if I ever publish a book, and when the day that book is like, if I have, that will be my like birthday, I will never get as many likes from that, because no women ever get the amount of likes from something like that as they will for as giving birth or getting married. And actually, I found it insulting that one of my most popular posts of all time was my wedding thing. I hated it. I wanted to share it because it was a really beautiful moment, but I hated that all the amazing things that I've done in my life, so many amazing things. So many things I care so much about, I worked so hard for, that this day that was fun, it was a party, it was meaningful, but it wasn't the most important day of my life by any means, that it will go down as probably the most popular post of all time. I hate that. I hate that we do that. Hype up your friends when they have achievements that aren't related to men and giving birth to men's kids. Because not only was this her moment, this was everybody who follows her, who wants this kind of love, which I promise you don't want this kind of love. This was their moment. This is the patriarchy's dream. Especially this new version of it, where women make all the money, do all the work, and the men get to be a princess. What? Anyway, back to what my original point is. I'm not sure that this is a worse kind of relationship. Because even though she is a Nepo baby, whatever, her dad is like, what is it, Billy Bald? One of the bald ones who's like the worst, right? I mean, they all suck. But like, she has no money compared to this man. One thing she does have is a child with him, and she's married to him. So even though he dresses like ridiculous when she's wearing beautiful dresses, seems to be, I don't know, a little obsessed with his ex, or maybe a lot, I don't know. Which again has nothing to do with Selena. I'm telling you, women don't usually have a one that got away thing. Because even if we do kind of like fantasize about an ex, whatever, like most of our stories are like we are the ones who got away from a terrifying dude or a loser. Whereas men have these fantasies. That's why they're going to hit you up on Facebook or some other platform. But Facebook especially, because that's how I'm aging myself. But all like people older than me and in my generation and maybe millennials too, like we're around when Facebook, and so we ended up becoming Facebook friends with a lot of people from high school. And I cannot tell you how many women have told me that these losers from high school will reach out to them, DM them on Facebook and start dating. Like so many of these men will find you, especially on Facebook or one of these platforms, and you're the one who got away and they want to date you all of a sudden. No. They weren't. They just got divorced. Their wife just left them, currently married and bored or partnered and bored. But it's not about you. These men who are obsessed with their exes, it's not about their ex. It is about a time in their life that they long for. I mean, hello, Leo. Like any of these guys who are thinking about you, who circle back to you years later, decades later, it is not about you. They do not care about you. They're not thinking about you. They're just bored and they're hitting up all of their former options, or they long for a period of time they can't get back. So do not fall for it, okay? This man, like, if he ever... He doesn't want to be with Selena, even if he did sing her name, which I'm not sure if I heard it or not. Even if that song was about her, even if he does long for her, that it is not about her. So please don't think that these men are ever like really pining over you or missing you or thinking about you, because it's usually not about you. It is about some fantasy, or they hate the person they're with, and you are their escapism. You're their escape fantasy. But if they got you, they'd hate you too. But like I said, even with Hailey, at least like her whole brand is being with this man more. Like she's creating her own brand now. All right. She's like modeling. She's on all these covers of all these magazines. She's getting her bag. She's got a child with him. She's like being with him, sticking with him is part of her brand. But also at some point then she leaves or he leaves her, she can continue what she's doing because, she got famous because of him. But I'm sorry, I am never, ever going to feel bad for a man who loses money to a woman because, like I have no shame for women who are gold diggers, because women bring so much to the relationship already, and so much unpaid, invisible, and unappreciated labor that they're expected to perform or end up having to perform on some level, especially if these men are huge king babies, that, you know what, I'm glad they're at least getting paid. But Selena? Now she's got to share her fortune with that dude. God, I would much rather be in a Hailey situation than hers. I mean, I would hate both. But please don't think just because a guy is like sensitive and nice and whatever. Like I've seen other videos of him talking about their dates and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I get the feeling that please don't think that the nice guys are any better. It just looks different, but they will put you through hell. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, share. Follow my Patreon if you want more stuff. You want lives, you want watch parties, you want hangout sessions with me. Travel content, personal stories, all that stuff. It's over on Patreon. Thank you, Patreon people, for keeping me going. And especially when I wanted to take some time off for my birthday and to see my family and stuff like that. So thank you all so much. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, share, hit the subscribe, boost if you have that option. Let me know. I want more. I don't know much about all the people I've been talking about. I don't really have the time or the desire to go into a deep dive. But I just like to use celebrity examples, especially really rich and famous ones who sell their love to us. I have things to say about that. And I hope that we can learn a lot. I mean, I hate to learn through other people's pain, but don't believe that these are green flags. A lot of these are absolute huge red flags. Okay? And let me know if you heard the comment song. Husbands are also embarrassing with their hats and how they treat me on my birthday. Yeah, bitch, I'm online singing about my ex. Oh, Selena. Actually, I don't care about you. I just want anything but this life. With my boots and running around, I'm miserable, especially 'cause I'm a dad. But I was at the other birthday with that cake. I love cake and walking around in socks. See, we're fine. We're happy over here. You're not embarrassing me, but I'm a model now. Hey, bitch, you want to talk about embarrassing? Ha I got you. Me, a bear. I didn't propose. That girl proposed to me. I talk about farts and pissing and shitting and all this stuff, and I don't even want to shower unless I deserve it. By the way, Selena said I love you first. Ha! And I love all the money, 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 money. I love all the money and the followers. And look, I don't really care about you. Look, boobies. And I get to wear a cape and pretty shoes. But I don't really like you that much. But back and make burgers and wear cow pants. You think I have better style for some reason. And I don't know why you kind of embarrass me, but hey, we're married. Yeah, but he wears these hats. I don't know what's up with the hats. God, I wish he didn't embarrass me. But you know, boyfriends are embarrassing. So are husbands. But hey, I'm married. But I go with my friends and we're silly and eat food and play games and Twister. But you know what? Pretty stuff with friends doesn't matter because he's like, come home, I hate you. Well, my birthday wasn't so bad because we walked around in socks, white socks. Then we have a baby, but hey, I've got a baby too, a king baby. Whatever, we're married people, we're so happy. Crocs, white socks, married people, happy, we're happy, married people.